I am truly sorry about what happened to the gentleman that was injured. Um, it breaks my heart knowing that I could possibly go to prison for this stupid choice that I made. And I love my kids so much, and
Kaylin Gutierrez.
He wants to address the court about my ability to represent him, Your Honor.
Okay.
How you doing, Your Honor?
Doing great.
Today's my birthday.
Oh, happy birth month. I think that everybody should celebrate the entire month.
Yes,
I
ma'am.
think, Mr. McCray, you recently had a birthday.
I did, really.
Well, I'm
62 at this point.
62. You look awesome for 62, I must say.
Thank you, Judge.
The older we get, the more certain ages are not considered old. I think 100, that's not old at all. Well, I'm making my way towards 60.
Judge, don't you have a birthday month?
I celebrate the entire month. Now, mind you, I only celebrate the month. Other people decided that they were going to start at the end of October and continue through December. That's not me. That's other people, but I'm accepting of it because I don't want to disappoint anyone.
Holiday.
I just want that one day, Your Honor.
You just want
the whole. Yes, ma'am.
Well, see, my problem is my birthday is at the beginning of the month. And when you think about it, it's like, you only get one day.
That's all I want, Judge.
I always tell people you should celebrate the entire month because when you were born, I'm sure you at least gave your parents a month of joy. They were probably like, oh my gosh,
No, I
smile.
don't know that first one,
Yeah.
especially on the first one. It's sort of like, oh my God.
I'm like, what have I done? What do we do? We don't know how to do this. All right. So let me explain something to you. I don't know what your issue with your attorney is, but I'm going to tell you what I've told every person who's been before me, right?
Yes, ma'am.
I've been a defense attorney. I've been a prosecutor.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, I run my court a certain way because when I was a defense attorney and a prosecutor, you pick up things from other judges and then you decide what you feel would work and what you would have liked if you were a defense attorney or prosecutor.
Yes, ma'am.
So in this court, I require that I make sure that everybody have all their discovery. Of course, we're not going to be up in here a year waiting for discovery, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Then the other thing I require that attorneys receive offers from the state.
Okay.
And when your attorney receives an offer, ethically, they're obligated to give that to you. Now, you may think that offer is ridiculous, right? But I tell people, let's not say those words because then people get here. And I want everybody to be at this level when they negotiate. So if your attorney gives you an offer, that's the offer the state has made. Defense attorneys, this is what people think. Defense attorneys believe sometimes, defendants believe sometimes that defense attorneys can control what offer the state is going to make. They really can't. All they can do is they could present maybe mitigation to the state and say, hey, this is why you should consider giving this person probation. Or either they can present something to them and say, this is why this case should be dismissed.
Yes, ma'am.
And then you know what the state will do? In this court, I will tell you, the state will consider the argument that the defense is making.
Yes, ma'am.
And you know what they could say? You know what? You're right. We're going to dismiss it. Or you know what? You're right. The offer that we're making is too much.
Yes,
That's
ma'am.
what they may say.
Yes, ma'am.
Or they may say, no, this is the only offer we're making. And then once your attorney presents that offer to you, you have one or two choices. You can say, I'll accept it. Or you can say, I won't accept that, but let me make a counter offer. Tell the state I'm willing to accept A, B, and C. And then your attorney will let the state know he won't accept that, but here's a counter offer for you. And then guess what? The state can say, oh, let's consider that. And they can say, yeah, we'll accept this counter offer. They can say, no, the only thing we're offering is A. And then your attorney will bring that back to you. And then now you have a choice. Either you're accepting what the state's offer or either you want a jury trial. That's the thing. Now, I can tell you, some attorneys have great bedside manners. What do I mean by that? They sit with you, they hold your hand, they talk to you about how your day is going, how's your family doing. There are some attorneys, they're not into that. They're like, I'm here about this specific case. These are the elements the state needs to prove. These are the facts I have. And this is police report. Let me defend you. So that's where we are.
Yes, ma'am.
So what is your issue?
My issue is Mr. McCray would not let me get one word in. Judge Boyd, I wanted to at least speak my testimony.
All right, so let me talk to you about speaking your testimony. If you're speaking of your testimony is something that you want to present to me,
Yes.
the only time you're allowed to present that to me is if you decide to testify. And I'm sure your attorney has told you, that's completely up to you, whether you testify or not.
Yes, ma'am.
And I'm sure Mr. McCray has probably told you the good things and the bad things if you decided you wanted to testify, right? As far as speaking to me and saying, oh, my case should be dismissed, and here are the facts that I want to tell you, this is not the part of the process where I received that information. The part of the process where I received that information is if you have some kind of mitigation. For example, if you say, yeah, I could hypothetically, yeah, I committed a theft, but let me tell you why I committed that theft. I'm starving or something of that nature. I'm trying to feed my children. Doesn't mean that you didn't do it. It just means that you're trying to say, Judge, go a little light on me because let me just tell you about my life.
Okay.
All right.
Yes, ma'am.
So
Yes, ma'am.
that's the only time. So for you to be telling me what you think the facts of your case are, guess what? If you want to tell me stuff right now, anything that you say can be used against you at jury trial. That's where this ends up. So sometimes attorneys are trying to protect clients from themselves. I've had plenty of clients where I've had to protect them from themselves. And then some of them like, you know what? I'm still going to do my own thing. And I'm like, an explosion is going to occur and you're going to get the blowback from it. So you understand?
I do now. Yes, ma'am.
All right. See, sometimes we just need to,
I just need to talk. I'm sorry. This is my life and it's a very important day. I'm sorry.
no, here's the thing. Every single case is extremely important. People tell me sometimes I take too long on cases, but you know what I tell them? The person who's standing before me, this is extremely important to them because it's their life. This is a criminal court. You're looking at probation or you're looking at prison time. You understand?
Yes.
So that's where we are.
Yes, ma'am.
So is there any other issues with Mr. McCray? So then the next thing I need to discover from both parties is where are we on discovery? This is where I'm trying to figure out if your attorney has received everything from the state that he needs to adequately and professionally represent you, okay? All right, so is there any outstanding discovery that you know of, Mr. McCray?
Not that I'm aware of.
All right, have you been, lately, there's been an issue with downloads. Have you been able to download everything?
Yes, sir.
All right. State, were you able to tender an offer?
That's it today, only offer.
Okay, so here's the thing. The state has tendered an offer to you. I'm gonna have you sit in the box and internalize it because the state is saying that offer is for today. That's it. So I'm gonna give you a chance to discuss that with your attorney. And if you decide you don't want to accept it, then we'll move towards a jury trial, okay?
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome. Oh,
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
am I pronouncing your first name correctly?
Kylan, yes, ma'am.
All right.
I'm sorry. Yeah, it gets real confusing. You did it right though. Thank you very much.
You are so welcome. All right, court is calling 2024 CR 009938, State of Texas versus Kylan Michael Gutierrez. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Jason Garahan, Your Honor.
Good morning,
Defense,
Your Honor, Todd McCray for Mr. Gutierrez.
and are you Mr. Gutierrez?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, have you received all of the discovery?
Yes, Your Honor,
Did you review it with your client?
I did.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Gutierrez, did you review the document entitled Application of Community Supervision with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it? Did you review the true bill of indictment with your attorney?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand it?
I did, ma'am.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
I read it to him and we looked at it together, Your Honor. Yes, ma'am, we'll waive it.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
No, Your Honor, we're waiving the repeater status, proceeding on it, but as a second degree felon.
Any objection?
No objection, that's part of our agreement.
Mr. Gutierrez, did you review the document entitled Court Admonishments and Defendants Waivers and Affidavit of Admonitions with your attorney?
I did, Your Honor.
Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand you're charged with unlawfully carrying a weapon with a felony conviction? That's a second degree felony. Range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 20 years in prison and up to $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
I did, ma'am.
If you have a plea with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court doesn't follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by entering this plea, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Gutierrez, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, ma'am.
Anyone promised you anything other than the plea?
No, ma'am.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
I am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Did you review the plea bargain page with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
According to the plea, punishment is to be assessed at a cap of 10 years in the prison. There's a $2,000 fine. The state opposes your application for probation. Did you understand that to be the plea?
Yes, ma'am.
Defense, is that the plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
State, is that the plea?
It is, Your Honor.
Did you review the waiver of appeal paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in both places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, were there any such motions?
No, Your Honor.
Outside the agreement, or if the court were to grant your application, there's a request for a TAP evaluation. Did you understand that was a recommendation and the court does not have to follow that recommendation?
Yes, ma'am.
Then to the offenses charged, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
State any evidence.
Yes, Your Honor.
Again, which I've reviewed thoroughly with Mr. Gutierrez and we find no objections.
All right, state you may be excused. Did you review the waiver and consent to stipulation of testimony with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call, and the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports? But most importantly, there'll be no live testimony. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Off the record for a moment, can I have parties approach? I never put my lips on the hose, though.
I remember those times.
Yeah, those were good times,
Those were
right?
good times. Those were
Yeah.
good times.
Yes, no problem.
I'm not from here, so I kind of know.
Thank you.
And I reviewed that report with Your Honor and we find no objections.
All right. Bar Stapler, please.
Thank you. And Judge, would you like us to put it on the record that we?
Yes.
Okay.
All right, we're back on the record.
And Judge, the state is offering about 5 additional pages for state exhibit number 1 with its attachments. We've asked for it to be entered. We disclosed that to defense. And also it's been stapled to state exhibit number 1 with its attachments.
And those are the original police reports, again, which I reviewed with Mr. Gutierrez and we found no objections.
All right, thank you. Then the state will accept it into evidence. All right, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there's sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and the court will find you guilty. Counsel, it is taking about 8 weeks for a PSI. If you would like, we can have him back sooner. I can just request that a TAP evaluation be done. You'll have time to bring in whatever witnesses you want, and I'll ask for the criminal history from the state.
I think that'll be fine, Judge, satisfied with that.
All right, Ms. Abrams, 2 weeks? All right, I need a 2-week reset, and just, we're back on the record, and for the records, defense, are you waiving the PSI report?
Yes, Your Honor, but you're gonna do the TAP evaluation?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
I can do November 14th.
It's fine.
All right, so we're gonna come back on November 14th, counsel. And,
Is that okay?
Mr.
Yes,
Gonzalez, I mean, so Mr. Gutierrez.
Yes.
So this is what will happen on that date. I'm gonna have a TAP evaluation, will tell me any drug issues that you may have had. And then the state is gonna bring me your criminal history. And then your counsel will have a chance to present witnesses if you have witnesses that you want me to hear before sentencing. All right, do you understand everything?
Yes, ma'am.
All right,
Thank you
then
so much.
you're welcome. We'll see you on November 14th, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And where is Mr. Aguilera? All right, if he'll come forward, just want to be sure. Jason. So, Tony, never heard of, never seen the Wiz, but he has redeemed himself. because he knows the songs to Grease 2.
Oh, Grease 2.
Oh, my God.
But the first Grease was so much better.
No.
You know how many times I saw Grease 1
How many?
at the movie theater?
How many?
Like 12 times.
See,
And I was like, it came out in 77 or 78.
yeah.
I was 4 or 5. You know why? My sisters. We would walk the movie theater and the same thing with Annie. I saw Annie probably like 8 times at the movie theater.
Oh, yeah.
And I saw the Christmas Story first row at the movie theater when it was in the movie theater.
But Sean, here's a strike against Jason. You know what he thinks? He thinks Grease 1 is better than Grease 2.
Oh, you think Grease 2 is better?
Oh, we need to have a song off.
John Travolta,
Michelle Pfeiffer is in Grease 2.
Olivia Newton-John. I mean, come on. Come on. I mean, don't disrespect her name that way.
Yeah.
I
Tony,
mean, to this day, I've been
what is better? I know that Jason is first chair, but what is better, Grease 1 or Grease 2? Oh, he just did that because of you. That's all.
Well, that's by Cornelius Cox. You had Cornelius Cox last week saying LSU was going to win. Right?
Okay, I will. Tell Mom to come get him. Yeah. But Sean, he's like Jackson. Tell Mom, come get him. All right, Norma. Yvette Martinez.
Good afternoon. Let me get
Ah,
that.
good afternoon. Yes.
Scott Sullivan from Miss Martinez.
Oh, and Jason, if you could review that, that's on it. It's not related to this case.
Okay.
All right, yes. So where are we?
We're present and ready now.
Okay,
I talked with the prosecution about some things.
all right. So what are we doing?
We have a plea of truth. The government's giving, the state's giving agreement.
Judge.
Okay,
Yeah, I spoke with Sean and the defense counsel.
all right, we're gonna go on the record then. Can I have a file stamp for probation, please? Thank you. All right, court is calling 2023 CR 1876, State versus Yvette Martinez. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state
Jason Garahan, Your Honor.
defense?
James Scott Sullivan from Miss Martinez.
And are you Miss Martinez? All right, did you review the document entitled Motion to Revoke Community Supervision with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, I do.
Are you the same Yvette Estrella Martinez placed on community supervision in 2023 CR 1876 for the offense of intoxication assault with a vehicle serious bodily injury on August 10th, 2023 for a term of 10 years? Is that you?
Yes.
All right, state.
Yes, Your Honor, violated condition number 42 on or about the 3rd day of October 2024 in Bear County, Texas. The defendant Yvette Estrella Martinez did then and there fail to obtain and comply with all rules, regulations, instructions, and financial agreements associated with the transdermal alcohol monitoring program in violation of condition number 42.
How do you plead to that? True or not true?
True.
All right, did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition 42, the court could find it true, grant the motion, sentence you to 10 years in prison and up to $2,500 fine?
Yes.
Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 42?
Yes.
Court will find condition of 42 true. Is there a proposed agreement?
There is, Your Honor. It is to deny the motion to revoke the individual's probation, order weekly reporting for 60 days. Also order her to bring in, or by the end of today, bring in proof that she is enlisted or is enlisted with the DWI intervention program, or because I believe that she had already had it, but then was disqualified because she missed a day.
Mhm.
And then also order 0 tolerance to all conditions. And then also order state ISF, but hold that in abeyance.
All right, so here's the court's question. The proof of the DWI, you say intervention program,
Yes.
are you enrolled?
Yes, I was enrolled and then I'd missed a day, so they kicked me out, but I'm gonna be enrolling in Cicada. If you would permit me to enroll in Cicada, the intervention program.
All right, is she gonna be able to enroll in that today?
Yes,
Money
Your Honor.
wise, she can make it.
All right, so you
If
need,
the office is open,
Well, Judge, that's the only my caveat that I told defense counsel. I don't know if they'll be able to get over there by today.
All
We
right.
have to allow.
You need to be enrolled in that program no later than October 30th,
Yes, Your Honor.
by 1 p.m.
Yes, Your Honor.
And the court is going to order weekly reporting for 90 days. Now, the other question is, what's with the alcohol monitoring? Is she monitored? Does she have a monitor?
Yes, she does. I'm sorry. She has the scrim on her ankle. I apologize.
Okay, no problem.
I thought I had to go monitor her personally there for a minute. Thanks,
Okay.
Judge.
Continue with Scram until further notice. And I don't normally order zero tolerance, but I'm putting it in here just so you will know. It's zero tolerance. Do you know what that means?
I cannot have any violations. I cannot mess up.
All right. All right. Is there anything else from either side?
Judge, the only thing we had asked is to hold the state ISF in advance.
All right. And ISF, and that'll be held in abeyance.
Nothing else from the state.
Anything else, council?
Nothing, Your Honor.
All right, we can go off the record.
I just want to say, because I feel like it's right, that I am truly sorry about what happened to the gentleman that was injured. It breaks my heart knowing that I could possibly go to prison for this stupid choice that I made. And I love my kids so much and
All right, so here's the thing. Let me just tell you. People who are on probation, everybody loves everybody. Everybody intends to do better. But then what ends up happening, they pick up a motion to revoke. So what I'm stressing to you, because you've been here before the court, and there have been issues with monitors, there's been issues with you not following through on what you're supposed to follow through on. You're looking at 10 years in the prison. And Ms. Abrams, also do a referral to felony drug court. But when was it done? All right. All right. So here's the thing. How old are your children?
8 years old and 3, 4.
Do they live with you? All right. So let me just tell you, if you end up going to prison for 10 years, you do the math. Your 8-year-old, if you serve the full 10, they're going to be an adult by the time you come out. The other child, not going to know you. Somebody else is going to be raising them. So you had better get it together. Otherwise, somebody else could potentially end up raising your children. Do you have somebody lined up to raise your children if you don't do right? Then you know what could end up happening? They could end up in foster care. You understand?
Yes.
So you're going to have to do better. And I will tell you, in this court, people have drug problems, people have alcohol problems. I always say, let your probation officer know what's going on. That's the thing. But you got to do your part. And when I tell people to let probation officers know if they have an issue, it's not going to probation and begging them, oh, I really don't want to do this condition. Or, guess what? I got kicked out of the DWI intervention program. That's not what I mean by going to your probation officer help. I mean, picking up the phone. I'm about to use alcohol. Where can you send me? What can I do? That's what I mean by help. Help with you being successful in your probation and not drinking anymore. Because otherwise, what's going to end up happening, you're looking at 10 years in prison, and that's potentially a full 10 years without you being in your child's life. And I will tell you, CPS court, your 8-year-old, it's hard to get 8-year-olds adopted and 10-year-olds. People always want a little baby. Your younger child, though, somebody will adopt your younger child. And then your children will be separated. And when you come out, you're going to be trying to find them. You understand?
Yes.
So I'm not being mean, but you had better start stepping up. You understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. Good word. May we be excused.
You may be excused after she speaks. Well, you can. She needs to speak to probation.
If probation wants me to speak with them, I will. Doesn't that? Can I be excused?
Oh, sure. You're excused.
I'm
But
gonna stay in the courtroom.
all right. I appreciate that.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. So Yaya, did they ever find the driver of that vehicle?
They haven't posted any updates, they're just still showing the live feed.
All right, Yaya, here is this one. Oops. Paperclip this far. All right, Norma, Pedro Flores, what's happening? All right, so recall it for the 31st. Is Pedro Flores in custody? Pedro Flores?
Yes, ma'am.
Hi. Hello. Hi, your attorney is actually in federal court.
Okay.
And federal court takes precedent over state court. So we're gonna bring you back on Thursday and your attorney will be here at that time, okay?
Okay.
All right, thank you for your patience. All right, and then Anthony Harris. All right, Anthony Harris, if you'll come down, please. All right, Mr. Harris, We're going to call you back on Thursday. Your attorney is in federal court and federal court takes precedent over state court, okay? So we'll bring you back on Thursday.
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you. Thank you for your patience. Jason Andrade,
Yes, Judge.
where is he?
He is not present, Judge. I spoke with him 12 minutes ago.
Mhm.
He promised he would be here tomorrow morning.
Oh, he needs to be here today.
I understand that, Judge.
Okay, all right. Deputy, could you make an announcement for Jason Andrade in the hallway, please? So how's it been going?
Reasonably well.
Okay. Norma, is he on a PR bond? I don't see where,
He's on bond, but I'm not sure what kind, Judge.
okay,
No, I take that back. He's a commercial bond.
all right, thank
That's where I
you.
got the phone numbers that
All
I
right,
didn't respond to until today when I left a message and said something about a warrant.
all right. Court is calling 2024 CR 009620, State of Texas versus Jason Andrade. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state
Jason Garrahan, Your Honor.
defense?
Budget now for the defense, Your Honor.
All right, this hearing was scheduled at 9 a.m. The court called the docket at 9 a.m. There was no response for the defendant. The court went on recess and now we're back at 1:30. It is now 1:58 p.m. and the defendant has still not answered. Deputy, did you make an announcement for Jason Anthony Andrade?
Yes.
All right, defense, have you had contact with your client?
I have, Your Honor, this afternoon. We spoke by phone. He will be here tomorrow, what he promised.
All right, state.
States that we're requesting a bond forfeiture, Your Honor.
All right, that will be granted. Your client will be remanded without bond. If your client makes an appearance, the court will reconsider.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, thank you. You may
May
be
be excused.
excused.
Thank you.
Yes. James Lord.
Yes, Your Honor. In the middle.
Hello, Mr. Lloyd.
How you doing, ma'am?
I keep wanting to say Lord James. I think that flows
Yes,
differently.
yes.
Right? All right, so counsel, where are we on discovery?
I believe we have everything, Your Honor. At the last setting, I did confer with ADA Daniel, and he had taken some notes to contact the CW before making an offer.
Okay.
And I don't believe the officer had responded. ADA Tony looked into that, and we're hoping to come back within 2 weeks or to get an offer to get a plea deadline dates.
All right. All right, Norma, if you put this on November 19th. All right, and state at that time you need to be prepared to tender an offer.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, is there anything else?
Nothing further.
All right, do you have any questions?
No, ma'am.
All right, we'll bring you back on November 19th.
Yes,
If
ma'am.
for any reason your attorney wants you back here sooner, all he has to do is let us know. We'll have you brought over sooner.
All right, thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
Yes.
Yes.
I mean, this is associated with the DWI, and I think that it's an ag assault. I mean, I was trying to look it up, but it crashed on me just now again.
Okay.
But I mean, I think, I don't know if we want to bring him
Oh, you know
in.
what? Let me ask you this. Norma, can you call Joseph Statesman back, please? Because I see who the attorney is, so
Oh, okay.
Joseph may be able to address things.
Okay, Judge. Yeah.
Otherwise, we'll set it for a hearing.
Yeah, because it's a 6-1 and it's like, I think all previous ones were about the same, and he's like testing where it's like, seems like it's alcohol use.
Okay, all right. Chelsea? Yes, so where are we?
Judge, this is a compliance hearing. Since the last time we were here on the MTR, Ms. Chelsea has been evaluated for the Alpha Home
Mhm.
and she's completed her TAP evaluation. She did not meet the criteria for Alpha Home, and the TAP evaluation came back with the recommendation for supportive outpatient treatment, monthly UAs, and sober support meetings. At this point, we are looking to release Ms. Chelsea with the previously mandate of GPS through work release, partial, and all of her other conditions to include supportive outpatient treatment.
And where is she gonna be staying?
Judge, we would have to talk to Ms. Chelsea about that.
All right, she doesn't have a place to stay. So let me ask you all this. Could you try maybe Victory Outreach? Because I think they have a women's. But she doesn't have a place to stay. And honestly, this is the best that she has looked, and it's been since she's been in custody. So you need a place to stay?
Yes.
Okay.
You do try Victory Outreach. We can also I can talk to Ms. Telsey about the House of Discipleship as well, see if that's a possibility.
Let me ask you,
Hey, Monica Agudetto is,
because it has Monica E on there.
we had approached before on prior violations.
James?
And we were notified that he hired counsel.
Okay.
Trying to find something. I was here on September 10th, when the jacket happened. And I said to Monica, I'm in the 187th. Maybe Dirk hired Monica at 8. But she was here, she confirmed. Hey, good. I don't know her, and she's from another county. She practiced elsewhere before she moved here. You don't even hear a little bit of time. She was updating it. Okay, sorry. Thank you, Norma. Yeah, good. Bye.
Bye-bye, thank you. All right, so we need Joanne Eckel. Jonathan Ross is here. We need Robert Brabach. All right, could I see the file on Robert Lopez, please?
That case, Cleveland Engine, he was your judge. It's gonna be, that one in particular is gonna be TIC
So when is his PSI scheduled for?
November 8th, 12th? I know it's in November. But I don't
Okay,
remember the date.
all righty. Let me put it in. Is Robert Lopez out here? Mr. Lopez, if you'll come down, please. All right, Mr. Lopez, your attorney is actually out of the country. So we were scheduled for October 29th, but it's been moved to November 12th. So that's when you'll come back for your sentencing.
All
right, you have any questions?
Do I have to take like another, like a tap, or
No, you do not.
I'm just gonna wait to come back?
All right, bye-bye. Sable Cassiano?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes.
Your Honor. Judge, last week you were kind enough, I was out of county and you reset it to 31st. And when I notified my client, she goes, I'm getting married that day. And she had,
Well, maybe I'm saving her.
maybe, Your Honor.
Yeah.
And I had, she had mentioned that when you asked me about the date.
discovery. I'm still digging through it right now, Your Honor, and I'm conferring with the state on that.
All right, and state, were you able to tender an offer or no?
Yes.
All right, Mr. Osen, how old are you? How old are you? All right, Ms. Ferguson, recall this back for November 14th. That's going to be your plea deadline date.
Okay.
Do you have any questions, sir? All right. Oh, please remain seated. I understand. Ankles are painful. So what's going to end up happening is we're going to come back on the 14th. If your attorney wants you back sooner than that, he'll let us know. Okay. All right. Thank you.
It may have to be sooner, Your Honor. I have I'm gonna be out of the state from the 14th.
All right. We're going to bring you back sooner. We're going to bring you back on either the 7th or the 12th.
Both those work great, Your Honor.
All right. Which do you prefer, the 7th or the 12th?
Come back on the 7th, Your Honor.
All right. We're going to come back on the 7th. All right,
gonna
Ms.
try.
Ferguson. Hmm?
Johnny, I'm gonna try and pre-trial.
That's a plea deadline date for the 7th. All right, and do we have anything else? All right, then we will be back on Thursday.